Roofing sales is not right for you if any of these three things apply. Now, the reason I'm doing this video today is I have had lots of people come up to me who realized that roofing sales wasn't for them. And in fact, other people came up to me and who were thinking, hey, roofing sales isn't for me, maybe I'm not cut out for this, and through a conversation actually realized that they were wrong in their own mind. And this was their opinion, not mine, and they chose to go all in and became really successful. Now, this video is actually inspired by a refund that I gave, I think it was this week or last week. A gentleman reached out and he says, Adam, got your program, love the teaching, love what you do. You got me really excited about roofing sales, and I realized that this industry isn't for me. And this gentleman was within our 30-day no BS money back guarantee window. So we refunded his money, and I shot him just a quick email just saying, hey dude, congrats for going all in, taking a risk, trying something new. This industry is most certainly not for everybody. So I wanted to help people who are on the fence or discovering these videos, lured into the six-figure or multi-six-figure earning opportunities, and say, you know what, if this criteria fits you, save yourself and don't go all in. Now, before we get to this list of three, there's three big things that if these three traits apply to you or someone on your team, chances are they will never be successful in roofing sales unless they're willing to make some changes. At the end of the video, I'm going to share kind of two additional pieces that I look at because I've been inside the back offices of roofing companies all across America and have a pretty clear pulse when I meet people and interact with them and see how they engage, the kind of questions they ask, who's going to be successful and who's not going to be successful. So this video is for two types of people. Number one, if you are brand new looking at roofing sales and you've been lured into the earning opportunities, you see other people doing it and you're wondering if it's so easy, why doesn't everyone do it? By the way, the reason is it's not easy. It's simple, by the way. Simple, simple, simple. Very simple. It's just not easy. And the other reason is for folks who are in the industry and questioning it because it comes up a lot. Sometimes hearing these three traits will help actually get you to go in the other direction to say, hey, it's really not for me. I'm on the way out. I don't think I'm going to do it. And then boom, turning around saying, you know what? I really want to make this work. So let's get to it. First, quick welcome back. Hey, my name's Adam Bensman, the Roof Strategist, and everything I do here is designed to help you and your team smash your income goal in roofing sales. And unfortunately, what I've seen is about 66% of new roofing sales quit or get fired in their first year. And it's due to two factors. Number one is someone that shouldn't have come in to begin with, meaning they're not a good fit on this list of three things with the two bonus sections I'll be talking about at the end. Or number two is the people that quit prematurely. And I think that's probably the most common. People are expecting the success out of the gate. I'll never forget seeing this gentleman in our office. His name was Drew, and I was so jealous of Drew and how busy he was and racing into the office and having jobs going on. And here I am felt like I was clawing up a mountain with no gear, trying to get some traction and find a route to make this thing work, and just totally in over my head, and seeing his incredible success and having that temptation to quit. And I don't want that to happen to you. So let's get to it. Number one, the first thing to indicate if you're not a good fit in roofing sales is if you're someone who absolutely needs to have consistency and stability. Consistency and stability. Now, it can happen in time, but getting started in roofing sales, if you're someone that says, I need consistency, that's a steady paycheck. As they say in life, you get to pick what you want, right? An entrepreneur or a salesperson has the ability to earn buku bucks, but what we give up is some freedom in that. We have to put in that grind and that effort. We have to work hard. We have to do what other people are not willing to do to make that happen. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean it will be forever in your career, because once your hopper is full, once you've been in this for a while, once you're making multi-six figures a year, year after year, and you know how to manage your money, you don't really need that consistency and stability because you have some financial cushions. You might have a month where you're making an incredible commission, 5 figures or even more, and then the next month is really light. So you don't have that consistency, and you definitely don't have stability, because guess what? You write your own paycheck. If you're not willing to go to work, no one's going to pay you for that work. And unfortunately, many employees, people who've been employees, there's a saying behind the scenes about this, is like locker room talk from employers, that employees are wanting to work the least they can to not get fired, and employers are willing to pay the least they can before, so someone doesn't quit. So you have people kind of working against each other, but roofing sales squashes all that. It's like you write your own paychecks. If you want to earn a lot and you can put in the time and you're successful, you're good at what you do, you're going to kill it. So again, number one is if you're someone who needs consistency and stability, this is not a good fit for you until you get some traction. All right? Number two, people who are seeking comfort, easy, or what I call the coasters in life. If you're someone that needs to be comfortable at all times, I'm just going to save you the headache. I don't want you to take any financial risks. Don't get into this business. This industry, roofing sales, will require you to get uncomfortable. And I'm talking like really uncomfortable, like facing your inner demon, which I'm going to talk about here in point number 3. I'm talking about dealing with conflict, showing up at people's houses, having people call you bad names, being grouped into this horrible reputation of roofers, which, by the way, Google this, roofer news, and you're going to see what's going through the mind of most homeowners when they think about roofers. So if you're someone that wants comfort and stability every day, like when I was a massage therapist, it didn't really matter what was going on at home or my home life. I just got to show up at work, be quiet, do my job, do my deal, give a massage, and leave. But in roofing sales, we are uncomfortable most of the time. We're dealing with baggage from our relationship or our partners at home, finding out someone was ill or died, dealing with customers screaming at us, and then having to go from this like horrendous place of feeling like totally in the dumps to then, hey, Mrs. Homeowner, I'm so glad to see you. How are you doing today? And that switch, like flipping that on and being able to compartmentalize work and personal is not easy. And it's one of the most challenging parts of roofing sales. And some people are just not cut out on it. You know, the folks that say they wear their heart on their sleeves or they can't hide their emotions. You need to learn to be able to do that. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel things. By the way, you will feel lots in this business, I promise you. What we need to do is be able to learn how to manage our own emotions, compartmentalize when we're going to handle certain things, and then be able to show up. Otherwise, all this personal baggage bleeds into your work life and you'll end up going broke. And it's not fun, and I've watched it happen more times than you know. So that's number 2. Again, folks that are so focused on having comfort and things being easy and being what I call a coaster. Just show up, do your thing, and be done. All right, which brings me to the third and most important one is people who are not willing to face their inner demon. Now, what is your inner demon? Your inner demon is usually, for some people, and by the way, I did a video on this. I want to link in the card here. In a video series, 3-part video series called the Roofing Sales Success Formula. And the second part of that series is about conquering your inner demon, which is often the little negative voice on your shoulder that is charged with fear, being a puppet in your ear, poisoning your mind. And for many people, it's a character trait, or should I say flaw, that we developed young in our lives. And most salespeople, by the way, most salespeople have pretty tumultuous upbringings, some emotional volatility or traumas. And it's through these experiences that salespeople learned the interpersonal skills and communication skills to navigate situations, read people, and be good with people. But there's a demon on the other side of this, and that demon is, I'll give you mine, for example. I share more, so go watch that whole video because my guess is it'll hit home really close with you and give you some tools to kind of guide through conquering your inner demon. But mine was someone who was totally afraid of conflict. I was conflict avoidant to the max because that's what I learned. I was the peacekeeper in my household as a child. And that character trait helped me keep the peace, navigate, read people, and learn the superpowers of understanding body language and tonality and anticipating when things would happen before they even would. But that stuff is also what held me back in roofing sales because I had to overcome and face that inner demon that, again, was supportive when I was a kid, but now just no longer served me because I was afraid to go to people's houses. I was afraid of that rejection. I was afraid to ask for the business. I wasn't good at closing. And only by conquering that inner demon, facing him head on, grabbing him by the throat, getting intimate with him, learning him, and finally getting past it. And again, I still have some work to do, don't get me wrong, but I got to a point that it no longer held me back from success. I could move through that discomfort, facing my inner demon. And there's some people, and this might be you or someone you know, who are totally unwilling to face their own stuff, okay? If that's you, do not get into this business because this business is personal development in disguise. All right. The final 2 things I want to hit is the people that I pretty much guarantee are never going to succeed in roofing sales are, and this is the bonus. First one, People who always say it's someone else's fault. There's always a reason or an excuse. Brian Tracy calls it excusitis, all right? I believe it was Brian Tracy. So if you know that quote, drop it in the comments and let me know if I had it wrong. Someone who is always willing to blame someone else. The lead wasn't good. The adjuster was bad. The insurance company is evil. It's not the right neighborhood. I don't relate to those folks. It's a bad time of year. Those blame pointers. If you can't take ownership of your stuff, there's people that say, hey, that's why I can't do it, versus people that say, how can I do it? So if you're hey, it won't work because all these reasons, don't get into this business because that character trait will bring you nowhere. The smart and successful roofing salespeople will always say the H word. How can I make this happen? All right, now the final one is probably the riskiest can of worms that I'm about to open, and that is people who cannot afford to go all in. And believe me, I was broke. I shared my story in many videos, but the fast version is this. I was earning under 20 grand a year. I was living on $4.20 a day in groceries. That was a strict budget, so no $5 footlongs for this guy. I was living on pasta that was on sale and potatoes. I was vegetarian at the time, by the way. And that was like literally my staples because I was so broke. And it was a really big struggle. Now, I went all in and I took a huge risk. I was willing to bet on myself and build the metaphorical parachute on the way down. But I know that many people aren't in that position with a partner at home, being a sole breadwinner or having kids or financial responsibility or debt that needs to get paid off, any sort of financial obligations. And if you're not able to go all in, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but what I am saying is the folks that are willing or able or in a position to go all in, they're either willing to take that risk or have some money saved up, will become more successful than those who can't afford it. Because what ends up happening is this narrative, I can't start my truck, I can't get out there, I can't afford it. You end up not doing it, but you're waiting on success. And it's kind of this catch-22, and you end up starving yourself out, going more broke than you would have if you just didn't give this industry a shot. So my advice, and I get this question a lot, if you're someone who needs that part-time job, what I would recommend that you do is if you find that part-time job, do it during hours that are not peak selling time. Peak selling time is 3 to 7 p.m. on the weekdays, and on Saturdays, 10 to 3, roughly. So if you have another job, build it in so it does not interfere with your day-to-day sales. I took the leap because when I was a massage therapist, I was working nights and weekends, which is selling time. And I knew that when I was trying to juggle both, I was never going to have the success that I wanted to have unless I could optimize my time during peak selling. So there you have it. Let's summarize the 3 character traits that will indicate you should never, ever, ever consider roofing sales. Or I'm hoping if you're on the fence about this business, maybe this will kind of flip you over the edge and say, you know what, I just need to shift my mindset and work on this. So number 1 is folks who crave consistency and stability. That may come in time, but it sure as heck ain't gonna come right out of the gate. Number 2, if you're someone who just wants comfort, you want things easy and you're a coaster through life, do not touch this business. And number 3, if you are not willing to face your inner demon, get uncomfortable and grow personally, and you just want to coast because it's just too scary. By the way, no harm, no foul. This is your life and your choice. Do not get into this industry. And then the 2 bonus ones I want to throw in is, number 1, if you're someone who always has a reason that it's someone else's fault as opposed to doing this, right? What do they say about every finger that's pointing at you, there's 4 pointing back. So if you're someone who just like, it won't work because this, don't get into it. You need to just ask yourself the H word. How can I make it happen? How can I make this work? And the final one, you need to be able to afford to go all in. So juggle that part-time job on the side outside of peak selling hours so you can make it. Hey, thanks for joining me in today's video. If you know someone that should hear this, that's either thinking about this industry or on the fence whether it's good for them, go ahead and click the share button, copy that link, pop it in the group chat and send it out. And if I miss one, what did I miss actually? Let me change that. What did I miss? Drop a comment and share it with me. Share it with everybody so we can help people survive, thrive, kick butt, and grow in roofing sales and prevent people from jumping in that you and I both know they shouldn't. So thanks for joining me in today's video. If you want more and you want to jumpstart your journey in roofing sales and you're sold and you're all in, then I want to get my free training center in your hands. You can click right here and it'll take you in there. You'll get a login, you'll get access to my Pitch Like a Pro Roofing Sales Training video library, closing techniques, and a whole bunch more. So click here to get that. And if you want to hang with me here on YouTube, jump right into this video and I'll see you on the next one.